Math 8, section P5, additional videos. Here, this is just for more practice about factoring, factoring polynomials. So when we factor means we need to take the common factor out, what we call the GCF, the greatest common factor out. So if we are given something like 8x squared minus 4x, the common factor, this is one term, that's another term. The common factor or GCF for 8 and 4 is 4. X squared and x, we take x. And that will leave us with 2x minus 1. Okay, don't forget the minus 1. It can be more than two terms. Say 12a to the third minus 8a squared plus 16a, let's say. We have three terms here. The greatest common factor is very important to know how to find the greatest common factor. 12, 8, and 16 is 4. A cubed, a squared, and a, we take the smallest a. What is left inside? We need a 3. 3 times 4, 12. We need a squared minus, we need a 2a, and we need a 4. It could be different. Let's say 5x squared y plus 15xy. What is the greatest common factor here? So 5 is the GCF for 5 and 15, x for x and x squared, and y for y and y. What is left is x plus 3. X plus 3. That's how we take a common factor out. It can come in a different way. Let's say x times 2x plus 1 minus 5 times 2x plus 1. So we look at the terms here, what we have, this term and this term. I see 2x plus 1 as a common factor, and what is left, if you cover the 2x plus 1, both of them, you will only be able to see x minus 5. So think about if you want to go backwards, you multiply x by the whole thing, you get the first one, minus 5 times the whole thing, you get the next one. Next one, we can take a look at another example, say 2x plus 5 times x minus 1 plus 8 times 2x plus 5. So what do we get here? What is a common? What's common among these two? I see 2x plus 5 is common. What is left is the x minus 1 plus 8. X minus 1 plus 8. Let's keep this the same. We can combine like terms here. Minus 1 plus 8 is plus 7. Another example, say x plus 1 squared minus 5 times x plus 1, x minus 2. What is common among these two? It's x plus 1. This means 2 copies. I can rewrite it first before factoring if you like, and keep everything else the same. What is common among these two is x plus 1. So cover x plus 1 out. It's like this one and this one. Cover them out. That's what we took out. And what is left is x plus 1 minus 5 times x minus 2. Then this stays the same. This is x plus 1 minus 5x plus 10. X plus 1, that will leave negative 4x plus 11 if we combine like terms. That's one kind of factoring called common factoring, where GCF is used. Next one is called factor by grouping. So by grouping the terms, say they give us x cubed plus x squared plus 7x plus 7. How do we go around this? When we use grouping when I see 4 terms. So we group the first together, maybe the last two together. The first two together and the last two together. I can take x squared here as a common factor, and that will leave x plus 1 in the first two. and the last two, 7 is a common factor. That'll leave x plus 1. Now, what is common factor? We go back to the GCF, x plus 1. So the x plus 1 is the GCF. And what is left is x squared plus 7. Another example. Say y cubed plus y squared minus 5y minus 5. That's another example. So what's common among the first two is again y squared. What is left? Y plus 1. Now there's a minus here. Common among these two is 5. So I took negative 5 out, not just 5. So what is left is y, not minus, but plus 1. So think about if you go multiply this out, you get the first one on the top, and you get multiply this, you get minus 5, the last one. So the common factor here is y plus 1. And then you get y squared minus 5 left. That's factoring by grouping. Now we factor trinomials in the form of x squared plus bx plus c. So how do we factor trinomials? Say if we have x squared plus 8x plus 12, let's say. We open two parentheses, as you can see. The x squared goes as x and x. Both signs are positive. 12, it can be 12 times 1, 6, or 6 times 2, or 4 times 3. If you try 12 and 1, let's see how we test that out. How do we test that out? You multiply these, you get 12x. You multiply these, you get x. Add them up, you get 13x. That's not the middle one. So we try the next option. So 12 and 1 didn't work out. We try 6 and 2. 6 times x, 6x. 2 times x, 2x. Add them up, you get 8x. That's the middle one, so that tells me it's correct. This method is called trial and error. You try, you make errors, and you try again, and you keep trying and trying. Look at another example. Say y squared plus 11y plus 28. You may pause the video at any time and try it on your own. So this one goes as y. Both are positive. That makes it much easier. 28, it's either 28 times 1, 7 times 4, 14 times 2, maybe 7 and 4, maybe. Test it. 7y times 4y, 11y. So that gives me the middle one. That works. Lucky enough. How about if we change we change in the signs. Say both of them are minus. In this case, what we have to do, it's mm. One of them has to be minus 1 plus. Now 24 could be 24 by 1, 12 by 2, 3 by 8, maybe 3 and 8. Let's try 3 and 8. So when you test it out, negative 3m and 8m, when you add them, you get 5m. That's not the middle. The middle is negative. So in this case, that tells me to swap the signs. Make the plus minus, minus plus. So that become plus minus minus. Then it works. I'll give more examples. How about if we have x squared plus 4x minus 45. Again, pause the video, try it on your own before we show you the solutions. So this would go xx 45, maybe 45 by 1, or 9 times 5, or 15 times 3, maybe 9 and 5, plus minus, test it out. 9x, 5x, yes, it works. How about if they give me in the form of ax squared plus bx plus c, where a is not 1, it's not 1. This makes it more difficult. Say say I want to factor, if it's factorable, 3x squared plus 5x minus 2. Again, pause the video, try on your own before we show you the work. So I believe 3x squared is 3x by x. Plus and minus, 1 has to be plus 1 minus, we don't know. 2 is only 2 times 1, test it out. Negative 2x, 3x, that's 1x, doesn't work out. Swap the 2 and the 1. Negative x and 6x, 5x, that works. So you try, you make error, you try again, and you keep trying. Another example on this, say 18x squared minus 15x plus 2. Pause the video, try. The 2, we know it's only 2 times 1. There's a negative in the middle, but this passes, so both should be minus, because their product should be plus. 18, there's a lot of options, 1 times 18, or 9 times 2, or 3 times 6. And let's try 3 and 6, so 3x and 6x. This is negative 12x, negative 3x. Lucky enough, I got it right away, but it doesn't work out all the time like this. Next type of factoring, we call it difference of squares, when you have a squared minus b squared. The formula said, cover the exponents, you get a minus b, a plus b. And to practice on this, let's factor out, say, m squared minus 25. And we will do something like 4u squared minus 1. 121 t squared minus 25m squared. So for this one, again, you can write it as m squared minus something 5 squared. So that would give us m minus 5 times m plus 5. Same thing here, something square minus something square. Pause the video and try it on your own. Try both problems. Two u minus 1, so that's 2u minus 1 times 2u plus 1. For the next one, we get, what's the number u squared? You get 121 is 11, t, 5m. So that gives me 11t minus 5m times 11t plus 5m. How about they give us just any random problem? Say factor this one out, say x cubed plus x squared minus 9x plus 9. Or let's make this minus. Say 2a to the 6 minus a cubed b. (64 minus x squared y squared). So the first one goes as factor by grouping because I have 4 terms. I group the first two, I take x squared as a common factor here. That will leave x minus 1. And here I take a minus 9. Minus 9. That will leave x minus 1. What is common among these two is x minus 1. That'll leave x squared minus 9. But x squared minus 9, it's x minus 3, x plus 3. For the next one, what is common among these two? It's a to the third. That'll leave 2a to the third minus b. That's it. This one can be written as something square, something else square, which is 8 and xy. 8 minus xy, 8 plus xy. How about this example? This is called trinomial, where we have to open parentheses. 36, notice there's a minus and plus. Always minus plus, both should be minus. 36, either 36 by 1 or 18 by 2 or 9 by 4 or 6 and 6. I think that works. Negative 6m. Another one, that works. Note you can rewrite this as m minus 6 squared because two identical copies. The more you practice, the better for you. The more you practice on this, the better for you.